do the sex.
Happy New Year's, you dirty motherfuckers. We have made it through another year together. I think this is about our second, and this year has been quite the ride. You've been with me through one of the craziest resolution journeys of my life. I did the 365 Days of Orgasms challenge this year, and so today's locker room talk topic is going to be what made me come 365 times at least, definitely at least, this year. And along with sharing with you some of the things that really got me off, some of the things that did not get me off, I am going to be sharing with you my resolution heading into 2023. This is a New Year's Eve special. Of course, it's going to be coming to you a couple of days early, but for this special, I even dressed up in one of my New Year's Eve dresses. I don't think this one is going to win the prize for the big night, but it did win the prize for my New Year's Eve podcast episode. So if you are just listening to this, feel free to head over to my YouTube channel. It is at Annette Benedetti, and join me there and raise a glass. And I have a drink tonight. It is called Spice and Sparkles Champagne Drink. I've got it right here. I felt like it was only appropriate that I have a real sip with you guys tonight. Sparkles and spice, because I'd like to think that along with being a little bit spicy, I can also sparkle. And I guess you guys can be the judge of that. So I'm excited to talk to you one-on-one tonight. I don't have any guests. I'm the guest. You're the guest. We're here together. We've got some shit to share. I have learned a lot this year. I've changed a lot this year. I think my outlook on sex, my body, how I think other people should be enjoying sex and their bodies has changed a lot, and I'm excited to talk about it with you guys, share it with you. I'm going to share some of the things I think you can do or do with your partner or help your partner do if you're having any of the same struggles I did. And we're going to be talking about that. I went from at the beginning of this year being a woman who was taking up to 45 minutes on the regular to have an orgasm to finishing the year with an easy 5-minute orgasm. I think, God, the last time I had sex, it was quick. I was quick. I was quick, guys. I was embarrassingly quick when the cock went in. I was ready to get off. How the fuck did I become this woman? Well, I want to start sharing some of that. I've definitely learned a lot, and I think I have some little bits of wisdom that I can share with you. But along with that, I think heading into 2023, I've got some really exciting new things that are going to be going on. And I want to share with you my new resolution, which will kind of come at the end of this. So let's raise our glasses. I hope you've got one in front of you because I'm excited to be celebrating New Year's Eve with you guys tonight. Cheers. Let's talk about sex. All right, guys, I have fucked myself a lot this year. I have definitely fucked myself more this year than I have in, any given year in my entire life. I have tried many, many toys. I have, interestingly enough, here's a big secret, not secret. This year, as far as sexual adventures goes, I have had the fewest sexual adventures that I've had in many years. I would say this year I haven't been very adventurous. I've shared with you about I got COVID a couple of times. It was probably the worst year I could have ever decided to do a challenge that required me to get off every day. I knew going into the challenge that there were things that could happen that could make having an orgasm difficult. I had no fucking idea. I had no fucking idea this was going to be the year where my health was going to suck, where I was going to have definitely a rocky road in the relationship arena. I went into this year an egotistical bitch. I thought I was going to be, I don't know what I thought. I do know what I thought. I saw all of these big, sexy adventures for me. I thought, yeah, I would, who knows what was on my mind? Orgies? I don't know. I wanted to learn tantric sex. I wanted to go to some sexologists and have them guide me. I wanted to dive into some really kinky things I hadn't done. I had a whole sex bucket list. Did not get done. I don't know that I did anything off that sex bucket list, but interestingly enough, even though that is the case, my ability to enjoy sex and come big. I mean, I've had the most intense orgasms of my life. I have had orgasms that I was like, I didn't even know my body could do that. So it's sort of a weird turn of events, right? I want to talk to you about how I got from taking 45 minutes to coming in 5 minutes. I want to talk to you about how I went from having very little sensation inside my vagina. And I think I have heard from so many other vulva and vagina owners that this is common. We really just need it. A lot of the orgasm comes from the clitoris. So how did I come from, I could easily do without the penetration to now having my most powerful orgasms come from a blended orgasm internally, the G spot, the A spot, the O spot. I found all of those spots and a combination of those spots and my clit. But how did I wake up all of those sensations in my vagina? I just feel like some of you might want to know how that happened. And though I am no scientist, and though I am going to be on a quest in this next year to really get down to the bottom of maybe a way that any vulva owner could achieve the same results I did, I do think I have some great ideas on where we could all get started on that kind of journey. So let's get on with it. I want to start, first of all, and tell you guys one of the big changes that I am making next year, and this is part of my big resolution for 2023, is I am really going to be diving into my Patreon. Now, to be fair, I've started it and then I backed off of it. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it, but I do now. And some of that comes from this journey this past year. I have some intimate stuff I really want to be able to share, but I want to share it with people who I know are really invested in hearing what I have to say and who are there to go a little bit deeper than what I'm willing to do just in a podcast or just on some YouTube videos. And I feel like the Patreon is a good place to do that. So my Patreon is changing. By the time this goes live, my Patreon will have all of this information on it. I'm going to keep my standard Patreon membership at $2, and that's going to get you just an ad-free listening experience. Sometimes my podcast goes up early. That always goes on Patreon first. You get early access to it, and it's just a way to support me so that I can keep making this podcast, making videos, and sharing shit with you in an honest way. I like to think what I bring to the table for you as a woman who's willing to talk about sex and not in the pencil skirt way. I've been sifting through a lot of women's sexuality podcasts where women are talking about sex, and it comes in this professional manner where they sit down at the table and they hold up the chart of the vulva and the clitoris. I think what I bring to the table and what my guests, especially both my friend group and then the guests that come on. I've got authors coming on. I have doctors coming on. I have sex experts and sex workers coming on. Is a group of women and vulva owners that are really ready to just talk authentically. And we don't feel like we've got to dress it up in a professional way because sex, good fucking sex comes from being authentic. And I love having guests on that are ready to just get real. And share what really goes on in bed in a way that everyone is like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. My level 2 subscribers are going to be paying $5. Still not very much. $5 a month. It's like the cost of a cup of coffee. But what I'm going to be doing at the $5 level is where things get interesting. Once I'm at 20 subscribers, I only have 7 right now. I'm humble. It's keeping me humble. 20 subscribers, I am going to start a live streaming once a week. I want to have an opportunity to talk to you guys. I want to have an opportunity to get to know you guys. I want to have an opportunity to answer your questions in real time. I want to be able to bring on some of my guests. Lucy, our Russian dominatrix, would be more than happy to sit with me in a live stream and answer your questions on cocks in a cage and being dominated and dominating and all the equipment that goes along with it. I have other guests, cuck queens and sex experts that would definitely be willing to join me in live streams and answer your questions. And then a little bit of just me and you back and forth. And I'd like to do that once a week. I will do that once I hit 20 subscribers. I will commit to a time every week meeting you guys there and having candid conversations about any episodes you want to. I'll probably pick some topics. You guys can always offer up topics as well. So that's going to happen at the $5 level, but that isn't all. Twice a week, I am committing to posting videos there that are going to be sort of like my online sex diary, masturbation diary, orgasm diary. I haven't decided what I'm going to name it, but as I continue to journey forward and try to reach my next goal, and as I continue on with my 365 days of orgasms, which maybe will turn into, who knows, whatever, 2 years of orgasms, I am going to be documenting what I am discovering and what I go through and what that's like. I am going to be sharing products. I'm going to be sharing intimate details of the adventures I go on in video diaries, photos, etc., that I will be posting there. And that's going to give me just the ability to post something that goes a little bit deeper than what you'll see in the YouTube videos. I feel like I've got to, keep the rating on those approachable by more people. So that's all happening at the $5 level. $8 level. It's my final level. I'm not going higher than that. I understand that things are tight for people right now. So that is going to be my highest level. But the big bonus of the $8 level is you're going to get everything that happens in the lower level. But I'm going to be having some giveaways there. I have partnered with different brands and sex product, intimacy product makers who have given me sex toys to give away. And I'm going to be doing giveaways. Products that I love, sometimes sex toys, sometimes, who knows, I've got body products, I've got all sorts of things. Also, merch. I will be giving away merch. So twice a month, those giveaways are going to be happening. And I'm going to offer that at the $8 level. Now, merch will be available to the lower levels as well. Obviously, those giveaways are going to be really easy. So I hope that you guys will join me over there and help me sort of get that going so I can create a closer relationship with my regular listeners, get to know you guys, what you have to offer, find out who and what you want me to talk about. That's my goal going into next year. Not my resolution, but one of my goals heading into the new year. So cheers. I hope to see you there. All right. It's time to give you the rundown on the things that I learned this year about how to have really great orgasms, mind-blowing, vision-inducing orgasms. First of all, one of the biggest things that I learned this year about myself is about my sexuality and what it means to me to be bisexual. In the past, I think I was very limited by a gendered idea of what being bi was for me, meaning, I like cis men and I like cis women. that has definitely changed for me this year. And what I realize is I'm truly now into the mode of I like genders that are the same as me and pretty much all of the other ones out there. I'm very attracted to theys and thems. I am attracted to trans folks. I am attracted to ultra quote masculine cis men and cis women. I feel like that has freed my mind from some of the limitations that were put on my arousal and allows me to explore my fantasies a little more. And what I have learned on this journey, if you are going to fuck yourself every day, you got to have a lot of room for fantasy. If you're going to be alone a lot, having sex with yourself, like just the porn on the phone is not going to do it. Your mind is the sexiest thing you've got. It's the best sex toy you've got. And so really diving into myself and taking out the shame, breaking the shame chains that I had around my fantasies, my thoughts, what I did in my body, that was key. And what drove me to be able to do that was sheer desperation after about a month of fucking myself and taking 45 minutes a day. I, had to push through all that. I had to dig deep into like, okay, what is really going to excite me? What if I'm louder? What if I move more? And that was orgasm altering. I can be very loud. And some of the sounds I make, well, they aren't the sounds you hear in porn at all. And I've definitely shocked a partner a time or two, I'm pretty sure, with the sounds I've made. So getting rid of the shame was a really big deal. But that's just all to get started. I think why I was able to wake up my G-spot and meet it. I now have a really close relationship with my G-spot. And then I was able to go deeper and find the P/O spot, the A spot. These are much deeper in you. One is sort of shares the same wall with your anus, your butt, your anal canal, the butthole. And the other is on the other side, kind of up against where your belly is. And those took a lot longer for me to access, and I'm still waking them up. But how did that all happen? It all starts with the clit, right? My clit was my hot spot that I could come. If I rubbed it, vibrated. I think when I started this podcast, the magic wand was my go-to, and that was because it was big and it was powerful and it had a lot of vibrations, which was great. Sure, it could get me to orgasm. It could also numb me out. So how did I change what I was doing? I think that the first thing you need to do if you are a vulva owner, or if you are partnered with a vulva owner who is like, I have a hard time coming, I'm not going to come from, penetration, it's got to be clitoral, and they seem very frustrated by it and like it just feels like a whole lot of work, the place to start is the place that works best for them. And oftentimes that's the clitoris. Now, for some people, unfortunately, the clitoris can be too much, so it needs indirect stimulation. And this is where experimentation comes in. This is where coming every day teaches you a lot. So I suggest to everyone who wants to start finding and waking up the G-spot, the P-spot, the A-spot, and enjoying penetration, you need to get a variety of sex tools that are designed for your clitoris. For me, finding pleasure air technology, or what they call the clit sucking toys, it does not at all feel like oral sex. That was a sensation that was new to me. And that was a sensation, first of all, it works kind of like a clit pump. So it does pull blood into your clitoris, which increases arousal. But that woke me up to a whole new feeling outside of vibration. And frankly, one that I preferred to vibration. But there are other toys as well that I learned along the way, taught me to explore different sensations on my clitoris and my vulva. Your whole external vulva, your lips, and your clit are filled with nerves that give you sexy feelings. And we tend to just focus on the clit. but there are areas all surrounding your vaginal opening that feel amazing. So I'm going to share really quick with you the tools that I used to start figuring out the large number of sensations that could turn me on outside of just heavy fucking vibration, which really it would bring me to orgasm too fast to be able to explore deeper. And it also could numb me out. So to start, you guys have heard of the Lilo Sela Cruise. This is just a standard pleasure air tech toy. You cover your clitoris with it has a pretty big mouth, egg-shaped. So if you have a larger clit, it's great. It surrounds the whole thing. The nice thing about these pleasure tech toys with the air technology is people go straight for the clit, but try using that sucking, blowing sensation on the area around your clit and towards your vaginal opening. Holy shit. That's what I did. I started like moving that little sucky mouth all over my vulva and down towards my vagina, and found all sorts of places that got me excited. Another great tool to use is the Lilo Dot, which is just a pinpoint. I mean, the vibrating tip is the size of almost the tip of a pencil. If you are on my YouTube channel, you can see it. I have done and written some reviews on it. And of course, I'm going to link all of these in the description of this. And it allows you just to touch the skin all over your vulva and zap it with some vibes and find places that feel good. And that gives you a lot of information. You may find that vibration isn't the thing that you get off on most. Now, so how does this lead us into the vagina and finding your G-spot, waking up your G-spot? That's, for me, was the next step. This is where our partner comes in. Really useful. So step number 2 for me was having a partner help me. So obviously we knew how to wake up my clit between oral sex and playing with toys together. I'd get excited, I'd get wet, and then my partner would use their fingers to start putting one finger inside of me. And my partner was great at finding my G-spot right away. And I would say when we both started doing this together, it wasn't, I don't think we knew what we were doing, but I very quickly was able to communicate, that feels good, don't go deeper, whatever that is, keep doing that. And over the course of time and doing it again and again, I realized, and they realized before I realized, that that's my G-spot. And I know exactly where it is now. But the only way to wake up my G-spot is I gotta use my clit is my clit is the light switch. I don't know. Have you ever watched horror movies? I guess this is maybe a bad metaphor, but it might make sense. You know, when something scary is happening and someone turns on the light, or they try to, and you flick the switch, and then you see the first light go on down a long, dark hallway, and then the next one farther down goes on, and the next one farther down goes on, and the hallway slowly lights up. That's sort of how I think of the clit. The clit is a switch. It lights up the next layer deeper in my vagina, starting with your G-spot. Once I was familiar with my G-spot, and I am going to share the best G-spot toy in my opinion, and one that you can use if you don't have a partner, because I know not everybody has a partner. Also, even if you do have a partner, they are not available all of the time to do this experimentation with you. This is something you can do with yourself. You can teach yourself so that when you're with your partner, your body is already in the habit of understanding, oh, my clit's getting touched, your G-spot starts to wake up, and then eventually, later on down the line, your A-spot, your P-spot. So you have your partner. Let you do the clit work. You let your partner start using their finger, using another toy to put inside of you. I love it when I have a partner who will use some of, whether it's a dildo, or I'm going to show you right now, one of my favorite ones is, and you can get these online anywhere and everywhere, these glass, like this glass dildo that I'm holding up. It's standard. I don't know how long that is. No, what are we going to say? 6 inches, something like that. 7 inches, and it's ribbed, it's glass, I like cold. So it also allows you to play with heat sensation. It's nice if you have a partner who wants to use this on you and help you try to feel different places inside your vagina. Now, if you don't have a partner, cool. We can work with that. I'm going to tell you my favorite toy that I think every vulva owner who wants to find their G-spot and really get to know it should have. And it's relatively new to me, but I use it almost every day now because I love it so much. It is Lilo Ida Wave. And if you're on YouTube, you can see me holding it up. But what's really cool about this toy, it fits me like a glove. It stays in. I can move around. It doesn't fall out. I have read reviews where people were bummed. They said that the part that goes on, it has a part that goes on your clit and it like clamps on you. And then it has this little arm that goes right inside you and not very deep at all. It goes G-spot deep. Exactly. They said that they felt like the vulva part didn't hit their clit. I might agree with that, although I think mine actually does reach my clit sometimes. But what I love about this is, look, if you want to find your G-spot, your attention can't be on your clit. Your clit is merely waking things up so that you can find your G-spot. The Ida Wave is great for that. It delivers vibration that's not overwhelming to your clit. You start to get aroused, and then it's got this amazing little arm that does these wavy motions inside on your G-spot. And it moves on your G-spot in the most... God, just thinking about it, I swear I get turned on just thinking about this toy. Again, I've done some videos on TikTok that show it, and I've written a review on it, but it does, and I'm kind of like on YouTube right now. You can see it moves in this circular motion. That's pretty magical, and it's understated. So this is not an overwhelming toy, but that's the whole point. You put it on you and you lay back and you just let your mind focus on the sensation you feel. And, this toy has really taken my orgasmic ability to the next level. I highly recommend it. Then after that, after you've woken up your G-spot, you know what to do, right? You turn on the light, you start with your clip play, then you go in, you touch that G-spot, then you go in and you have either your partner or pull out your toys like the Lady Bi, which is will also stimulate your clit, and you just go deeper. And you will start achieving blended orgasms. And once your body has done it once or twice, it starts to know how to do it again. And the cool thing is your body has this memory, sensation memory in it. Like I said, I think about the Ida Wave and I start to get a little turned on. I am a little bit of a horny motherfucker, but... So those are some of my big tips. Start with the outside. Explore your sensation. Move in. Explore that sensation. This is just a very light intro to how I went from having no filling inside to waking up different spots. Again, this is some of the stuff I want to go over more in depth in some diary entries where I can really get into individual experiences, old and new, and share them with you. I think this is really fucking important. I think it is a travesty that so many women and vulva owners don't feel pleasure inside. And not only is it a travesty for them, it hurts their sexual relationships. It can be hard for their partners who want to please them. I really think vulva owners should get an instructional to exploring all of their equipment at the beginning of their sexual journey. We should know all of the different spots that are in our body. We should know how to introduce ourselves to them and be comfortable touching them. Unfortunately, that's not the way it works. So what I am hoping to do is start helping listeners and their partners, maybe gain a few exercises to try at home, and start down that path with me. I still have a long way to go, which brings me to my resolution, or maybe it's more of a goal for 2023. One of the things I have not accomplished at this point in my sexual journey is the ability to have an internal orgasm without needing clitoral stimulation at the same time. I absolutely believe that is something that is accessible to me. But I haven't achieved it, and I am on a mission. Why is that important to me? Someone might ask, and that's a fair question. I think for me, being able to have a sensation in a part of my body that was shut down for so long has been transformational. I have experienced physical pleasure on a level that I didn't know was possible, and it's been intense. I am so grateful for having gained that ability. I also have a lot of sadness for the fact that when I was younger, all of the years that I didn't have that ability, I feel cheated on some level. And there's no use in that. There's no good in that. But I know that I'm not alone in this feeling. I've talked to a lot of other women and vulva owners who feel like me, who really are frustrated by the fact that they don't and haven't had those feelings. I believe, just judging by the intensity of orgasms I've had this year, which really have like been, I mean, I can't even put it into words. It's not just a physical, like overwhelming feeling. It's a mental, spiritual awakening, really. And that's just the truth. It sounds cheesy, but it's fucking true. I feel like I've tapped into a power in my body that has been withheld from me. And so, yeah, I want to know, what does it feel like to just be that in touch with my body and my pleasure and with the partner I'm with, to be able to just jump on it, whether it's a strap on, whether it's a cock, whatever it is, and to have the ability to come without, having to get out a vibe or to really work on the clit to get worked up. I would love to be able to start that excitement from within. I want to feel that, what it's like to live with the ability to start the pleasure inside. It's what I want. And when I want something, I go after it. And I want to share that because I know that there are a lot of other women who want to have that ability too. So I want to share that journey. I want to share what I learn along the way. And that's what I'm going to do. You can join me or not. You can ask me why the hell that's important. We'll talk about it. You know where to go if you want to have conversations like that with me. So that is my big goal for 2023. I am going to continue to have my orgasm every day until I get to a point where something comes up. Probably if I get COVID again, I will give myself a little break, guys. So if something big comes up, yeah. And hopefully between now and New Year's Eve, I think I've got 5 days, 4 days, maybe less than that. And nothing happens and I achieve my goal. I think I will. So New Year's resolution. I'm going to be making 2 orgasm diary entries, sex diary entries, intimate experience diary entries for my Patreon a week. I am going to be sharing how to get where you need to get if you want to get to waking up your G spot, meeting your O spot, meeting your A spot. One of the toys I didn't share with you. And if you want to start exploring some stuff like, want to know what got me off a lot in 2022? Glass butt plugs. Check out these things. Okay, if you're just listening, these beauties are, well, they're beautiful. They come in 3 different sizes. Why do I bring up glass butt plugs right as I'm wrapping up our New Year's Eve episode? Because a big part of enjoying sex is giving up the idea that's like butts are bad to, butt sex is bad, or what I did a podcast on semen. I have not had a semen facial, so let me just be clear. I'm still speaking out of quote my ass. We need to let go of the idea that certain things are okay during sex, other things are gross. If you have not played with your ass during sex, you have no right to judge other people. I'm telling you right now, when I want to have a really, really good orgasm, I get a butt plug and then, have some great sex with my partner. That's some authenticity there. There's some honesty. Folks, go back and listen to butt stuff. I think I've got multiple podcasts on that. So can't leave the butt out of the New Year's Eve podcast. I think that's about it. I'm not going to drag this on much longer. The bottom line is I have accomplished a lot this year. I'm hoping that you guys will join me next year. I have a podcast coming up at the top of the New Year's that we're going to explore mindfulness, how to meditate yourself all the way into an orgasm. I have exciting guests coming on, and I don't know where you're spending New Year's Eve. I'm spending New Year's Eve at a sex club. So I am also hoping that in 2023, I'm going to be having some fun, sexy adventures to share with you and to make up for the lack of adventure I had last year. I can't have that go on for 2 years. So I will be sharing all of that stuff too. That's all I got for you.
Do the sex.
Raise your glass. This is going to be a good year for all of us. I can feel it. I hope to see you on my Patreon. You just got to find it. It's a Locker Room Talkin' Shots podcast. I will put the link in the description of this video below because it's not easy to find people on Patreon. I hope you'll join me on YouTube. Annette Benedetti. You know where to find me on the socials. I'm there, Locker Room Talkin' Shots. Instagram, Facebook, Bing Benedetti, Instagram, and TikTok, Locker Room Talk podcast. So until next year, I'll see you in the locker room. Cheers.
Ring loop.